Welcome, Reason Consciousness, the level of spiritual teachers. All famous spiritual teachers that I scanned live over 400 at Reason Consciousness. The emotional state is understanding. Understanding from the heart center, the trap emotion, the pain body of cloudy energy field, understanding each chakra, the depth of it, what they trap, their mindset, how to build communion with each of them, understanding each level of consciousness, understanding God from within and without. We have so much understanding that we are looked upon with so much light. We become somehow energetically famous because there's so few people that are able to reach that level. They're able to merge the feminine and the masculine and keep the inner dance consciously aligned. This inner romantic relationship being equal, where both parties understand each other. The feminine understand the masculine understand the feminine. Both parties have compassion for each other. Both parties hold space for each other in times of tiny disturbance. And it's easy to realign and keep that inner dance flowing. At Reason, the view on life is meaningful, meaning that somehow we embody fully the soul purpose. We embody fully the healer mindset. By just being expanded, my energy field at 400 to 430 is at 15 feet in front, 30 circumference. By just being present in my energy field, aligned with all my chakra, 30% heart openness, I'm being an embodiment of God. I am fully acting on the will of God to spread light of understanding, the darkness and the light together. At Reason Consciousness, I am on the road to fully embody uncontrolled love, where we remove the ego mind and we step into the universal mind. Meaning that at uncontrolled love, it's not my ego that runs the show, it's the higher self, it's God. I am a full channel. I gave myself away to be of service to others. As I'm doing this transition towards uncontrolled consciousness, at 440, there's this big last ego depth that needs to happen. And it is the hardest because at the beginning of Reason, everyone is looking at us like we are God. And the ego gets inflated out of that because we know so much about the healing journey. We could heal anyone like that because we can know their pattern, we can know their trauma, we know exactly what they need to do to just shift. Therefore, everyone is just like trying to grab, take from us, and this can give a sense of superiority. A lot of spiritual teachers got lost there below 440, and you can feel in the way they speak. There's a very subtle spiritual ego that most people don't see because they're living at lower level of consciousness. But when you start living at acceptance, being of reason, you can see easily that those spiritual teachers are still stuck in some kind of spiritual ego. At Reason, the God view is wise, meaning that somehow God is your best friend. It is your best confidant. Each time that there's something that you need to assess, reflect, it is easy to reach out to your best friend. Just by closing your eyes, going within, and listening. You have experience, you know the way, the communion with God. And the process of the individual is abstraction, meaning that I'm removing myself from taking decision, taking action. I am almost like a zombie being controlled by higher densities, higher light, higher potential. I am fully listening and being guided, taking action towards where they want me to go, where God wants me to go, where my higher self wants me to go. They know my highest path. They know my highest timeline. Therefore, I don't need to worry. I just need to be present, centered, making sure that I always readjust. And it's easy to readjust because we have the tools now. We have all the tools to assess on a daily basis the little things that are happening into our energy field. And the moment that there's something off, we feel it. We feel it so strongly that we cannot do anything else than just sit down and realign. The moment that there's a chakra that is becoming weaker, we feel it. We feel that we are almost hurt. Like someone would hurt themselves physically, but we feel it energetically. The moment that there's a negative emotion that passed through and we didn't let it out, we feel it. Because it's not part of our reality anymore. We are very, very sensible. We have no choice to just sit down and clear whatever that just happened. And we're able to do this fast. It might take 5 minutes, and we move on to our day-to-day to be of service to others. Here's a beautiful exercise to start having the mindset of reason consciousness. So we're going to connect with an archetype, a representation of our feminine energy, and an archetype and representation of our masculine energy. When you close your eyes, if you try to visualize anything, like let's say you're driving on the highway, you have 2 hands on your steering wheel, you look on the right, you see a mountain, you look up, the sky is blue, you look left, you see the sun, there's birds flying by. Well, this imagination, for me, is happening in the back of the brain. It is in darkness. It's a sense of knowing. It is not as lucid as I'm looking with my real eyes, the physical world. It's a combination of clairvoyance, of claircognizance, and cognizance is a sense of knowing. And it might also come with some thought patterns that are different, which is a form of clairaudient, okay? So when I'm doing imagination, I'm using the third eye. But when I'm receiving third eye vision, the visions are just moving by themselves. They are, in a way, creating their own stories without you creating them. So that's what we're going to do here. And we're going to go deeper in the practice of the third eye in the next chapter. So close your eyes. Let's take some big breath together. In through the nose, out to the mouth, releasing with a sigh. So in through the nose, out to the mouth. In through the nose, out to the mouth. In through the nose, out to the mouth. Imagine your energy field expanded at 5 feet in front of you. You're in this bubble of light. Keep your attention in your heart center. Expanded to 10 feet in front. 10 feet over you, below you, left, right. Now expanded to 15 feet in front. You're taking over the apartment of your neighbor. You're taking over your whole house. Your massive, massive energy field. Spreading love and light to everything around. Now bring your attention on your left side, left arm, left leg. You split your body in two, and you're feeling all the left side. Left fingers, left toes, left side of your head, your face. You're separating your body in two. And ask your feminine, show me a representation of yourself. An archetype. For me, it is a beautiful kind of like ninja warrior wearing colors of pink, red, orange, beautiful gradients of all those colors. In her ninja suit, she's having a sword. Very confident. Very skillful. Devoted to her practice. Now bring your attention to your right side, right arm, right legs, right side of the face, splitting your body in two. And ask your inner masculine, please show me a representation of yourself, an archetype. For me, I see a blue warrior dressed in some kind of like Middle East armor, wearing a turban. His suit is grays of blue, mainly blue marine, edging towards like dark blue. And both the inner feminine, inner masculine are facing each other, almost like ready to fight. And we're going to assess this inner conflict together at each chakra, starting with the sacral. So bring them in front of each other at the level of your sacral. And let's see the dynamic, the story happening, the dance between those two archetypes. Let them face each other, connect with each other. Hear both sides of the story. Both are expressing their feelings. My masculine is trying to express that she never let him have the space to express. He also wants to be seen. He also wants to be in front. He also wants to be the leader. He feels that he needs to defend himself. He feels that he's being put behind, left behind, forgotten. He feels depressed from trying to be here, to be heard. And this conflict happening at the sacral is like a movement of the body, a dance. My feminine is seeing how she is controlling, dominant, trying to take everything for herself, almost egocentric, as a way to protect her feelings of heartache, betrayal. Let's move to the solar plexus. How does the conflict feel in this realm of self-awareness, confidence, discipline? I feel that both are pretty aligned here. Both respect each other. both admire each other in their own essence. I feel a good alignment here in my solar plexus. It feels peaceful. It is beautiful to witness. Let's meet to the heart. Let's see this conflict, those two archetypes facing each other in the density of the heart, the fourth density of understanding and love. I can see my masculine crying, exhausted. Falling on his knee, begging for understanding, begging to be seen. I can see my feminine being shocked, never seeing this reality before, never seeing how she hurt the other party in front of her. Both are coming into understanding. It is very emotional. They are hugging each other, making peace. I can feel the back of my heart chakra activating as it was weaker than my front. Let's bring those two archetypes facing each other at the throat. I can feel my masculine has a lot of anger. He wants to scream for attention because everything that he did in the past didn't work. Somehow it's that deep, deep, deep sadness that builds up into fire, wanting to break everything, wanting to be seen, wanting to fight. Again, the feminine being shocked and seeing another truth that she never saw before, bringing more understanding, more compassion. I can feel the back of my throat activating as it was weaker. I can feel my spine realigning, being more and more elegant and straight vertically. Let's bring this inner dance at the third eye. I can feel a good balance there. Both are dancing. This beautiful partner dance. I see them dancing bachata. Very happy, very joyful, both very, very intuitive in their own way, connecting with the sixth sense, the etheric world. Both are helping each other to get the insights needed. Beautiful. Let's go to the higher heart chakra. The pink uncontrolled energy behind the thymus gland, right behind this bone in the middle of your heart and throat. Let's have this face off here, feminine, masculine, connecting with the root chakra and the crown together, the divine feminine, the divine masculine. Somehow I see an aspect of them that is a bit different. They're a bit taller, they're a bit more mature. I feel they're a bit wiser, older, more elegant, more aligned, more wisdom, more wise. Both they're sitting in mid-station in front of each other, being able to hold space for each other, actively listening each other. I feel they're well balanced with each other. It is beautiful. They are surrounded by this big dome, big sphere of white light energy floating in the etheric world, spinning, while both are sitting in front of each other in hands in hands. They are floating in the universe, smiling at each other in total bliss and peace. And I can feel my root chakra and my crown very well open, very well aware of each other. It is beautiful. Explore this practice. You might have a total different story. It might be different each time you do it. Depending on your level of consciousness, this inner story is going to start changing, evolving. Have fun with it. Take some notes, journal about it after. Thank you so much. At Reason Consciousness, it's less and less about transmuting our inner trapped emotion, but more about transmuting energy, negative emotion for our ancestors, for humanity as a whole. So once there's maybe an emotion we need to process, we not only transmute it for ourselves, but we bring awareness to, hey, actually, everyone in the past before me, all my ancestors lived that emotion. And hey, actually, everyone on earth right now lived that emotion. And I understand that all the negativity from this earth is going to be eventually transmuted into the sun. As this sub-logo, the sun is going to merge back into itself to explode into a supernova, to move it towards the next octave, creating the next universe, the next Big Bang, part of this multiverse of the infinite video game that we're in. So once the planet Earth is going to transition towards third density, fourth density, 6, 7, all the other planets slowly is going to do the same. All the species in this solar system are going to do the same. Everyone's going to merge back into the sun. So slowly it's the sun that is absorbing all that negative energy to transmute this evolution. So what I know from this is that I can transmute the negative emotions from humanity and just give it back to the sun. So when I'm doing the release of, I transmute whatever, anxiety through all time, space, dimension, and reality, as I teach on how to release trapped emotion in the next chapter. Well, I do it from the intention of releasing for all humanity, as we are all one in this process of ascension towards the new earth. In the new earth, there's not going to be negative emotion because we're going to be living out of the heart chakra in harmony and love. We're going to be vibrating way higher with another body with 12 string of DNA, slowly living 90,000 years. All dark beings going to be gone. It's going to be fully harmony on earth. So to arrive at this level, we need to start transmuting all the negativity, all the darkness on earth. And it starts with the negative emotion. So at Reason, I have the capacity to do this because my energy field is so expanded. I have so much understanding. And when I release for humanity, for my ancestors, I start slowly embodying oneness, embodying uncontrolled love as I bring full understanding on the process of humanity. So if I'm able to have my ego dead at 440, and then I start towards this process of releasing emotion for humanity, my ancestors, I can slowly move up. Towards this process, I was able to bring myself to 490, 95. And at this level where I did this big transmutation of humanity, I lived 3 times uncontrolled consciousness, where each time I felt it right away, I scanned myself, and my mission was to go outside and integrate this new reality that feels like the whole world is happening in slow motion, that feels that you are not yourself anymore. You gave yourself away, you entered the universal mind. You don't need to think to be present. You are present by default because you are the universal mind. You are seeing world like everything's happening like in fraction of a second, like, and that's why Eckhart Tolle speaks so slowly, because each time you speak, you lose that presence that is happening every tiny second in slow motion, every tiny vibration. And it's super hard to live like that. It's super hard to integrate that, everything in this physical reality that is in conflict, right, with the negative and the positive, the light and the darkness, while it's triggering you somehow. You walk in the street, everything you see is like noises, vibration that is trying to take you out of this consciousness. So it was very hard to integrate. For me, my level of understanding now, it's kind of impossible to experience love consciousness if you're not over 450, because each level of consciousness, we break a heart layer, a physical aspect of the chest, and we couldn't break more than 2 layers at a time. The physical body would kind of like be in shock. It would be a big like physical shock to the nervous system. So that's why we need to do it step by step. That's why we need to be patient and to fully embody or experience love consciousness. I think that we need to break the last heart layer at 450, the last big ego death. That's my level of understanding right now. It might change in the future. That's my experience so far.